Herzlich willkommen und Bonjour aus dem wunderschönen Lille. Wir sind hier mit Visma Lease-a-Bike. Vor uns das brandneue Cervelo S5. Wir haben euch das Bike in Gänze schon mal in einem anderen Video vorgestellt. Klickt gerne mal hier oben auf den Link und schaut euch das Bike an. Was ist eigentlich neu an diesem jetzt noch nicht vorgestellten Bike? Wird zum ersten Mal auf der Straße gefahren, hier bei der Tour de France 2025. Bei mir ist Jenko. Jenko, it's a pleasure. As this brand new Cervelo S5, I mean, obviously it's an aero-orientated and optimized bike, but from the past then usually there are like way more other bikes brought to the Tour de France from each team.
Yep.
For you as Visma Lease-a-Bike, how many, what kind of different types of bikes do you have with you at this year's Tour de France?
Yeah, well, we have the S5, the aero bike, which is this one. And then we have the R5, which is the lightweight climbing bike. And then we have the P5, the time trial bike, which is only used in time trials.
And how do you decide which bike you're going to take on each stage? Like the weather forecast, I mean, obviously a time trial bike you'll use time to stages, but
time trial,
how do you decide between those, the lighter one and the aero?
Between the S5 and R5, it's mainly looking to the stage. I think in 80% of the time we use the S5 because also uphill speeds are pretty high currently in the peloton. But if it's really a lot of altitude meters, a lot of steep climbing, then we choose for the R5, where for all the other parts it's like the S5. So it's, I would say 80-20, maybe 90-10 for some riders, but yeah. And it also really depends on rider. Some have a better feeling on the S5 versus the R5, which is, well, everybody has a better feeling on some bikes, so that also depends a little bit per rider.
Okay, so let's have a little talk about the components that are on the bike, the whole setup in general. I can see like you have a SRAM RED group set, right?
Yeah, correct.
Released last year. I think one really special thing about this group set is you have the bonus buttons here.
Yeah, I think, the SRAM RED shifters are pretty known already, but I think it's just a very nice ergonomic shaped shifter with indeed the bonus button, which can be used or for shifting or for your Garmin. It's whatever you like.
Do you know which rider, how they're using the bonus buttons? Like,
I think most will use them for shifting because also typically we just set them up for shifting. And I think we have a few riders who maybe do it for their Garmin. Maybe in training they have used more for Garmin, but in racing that typically it's a shifting button.
Okay. I'm talking about Garmin's. Do you know what actually kind of is shown on? I mean, obviously they don't need the track on the Garmin to know where they're going.
Well, actually, they use it more often than you think. That
really? I thought they're just looking at their watts.
No, also, but I think a lot of riders really like to have also a map in front to at least see where they're going. And maybe it depends per role, like if somebody has to pull the peloton, then he likes to have a map more. Yeah, there are more riders riding with a map than you would expect, actually. Yeah.
And I've also seen, like, you brought, and you told me earlier as well, you brought a lot of different chain rings and cranksets to this race. What is a typical ratio? What is typical size of chain ring you would use, let's say on such a bike, on an aero bike?
Yeah, the typical front chain ring is 54-41.
Okay.
I think that's in, I would say 90% of the riders. Some riders will ride the single speed chain rings depending on the stage, like if, for a sprint stage or like just a fast stage, and some riders will opt for a single speed. One, it's more aerodynamic, and it's also, if you don't need to shift up front, why would you take the front derailleur? It's also an extra part, so that's why some riders will choose to, or at least we choose that we ride without. And on the back, it depends a little bit per rider, but in general, I would say it's a 1036. And for some of the flatter stages, we use the 1033 as well. And some, I think one or two riders can ask for a 1030 if it's really like flat and they just want to have small gaps between the
cogs.
Yeah, between the cogs.
Okay, but let's stick a little bit with the cranks. I mean, in recent years, we've seen cranks got shorter and shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
How's it in this team, in the Visma Lease-a-Bike? Are they also like shortening the cranks? Are they following the trend, or?
Yeah, well, let's say we don't more or less follow trends. We if we do something, we are confident of confident of it. Of course, you can be set in a certain way of thinking because of others, but we also switch to shorter cranks with also maybe 60% of the riders. It depends a little bit per rider. Yeah, but based on the let's say the facts or the studies we saw ourselves and let's say the investigations we did ourselves. So it depends a little bit per rider if they switch or not. Also if they like it or if they see the benefit of it. And some we had also riders who who switched and where we actually saw it did not have really a lot of benefits. So then we could switch back or whatever.
But what's the shortest length one of the riders in your team is riding?
We have a 150 for the.
And that's actually special made?
Yeah, it's special made for Jonas.
Okay.
And he uses it mainly on the TT bike actually. But that's really the shortest we have. That's also, it wasn't available, but it's available now. So that's the shortest one, and then it's like from 160 up to 72.5. So it's. Okay,
so we've talked about the drivetrain. We've talked also about chains as well and how many chains you're actually using and replacing.
Yep.
What about the cassettes? Do you replace them like every third race as well?
No, cassettes they will be on the wheel for the complete tour, I think.
Okay.
Because we have like multiple wheel sets, so this is like the deep wheel set. But we have also a smaller one, medium one, and a climbing wheel. But because of the 3 wheel sets, which we will shift around more or less every day, the cassettes get so limited wear and tear that it's good for sure 3 weeks, and I would say I think most of the year probably, because it's and also because we shift the chains a lot that much, the wear and tear is really limited, so you can use the chains and cassette for quite a bit actually.
And looking at those deep reserve rims, I can see tubeless valves. So all bikes are set up tubeless?
Yeah, correct. Assume? Yeah, we only ride tubeless. The area of tubular is that.
Okay.
And also inner tubes is not something we wish to ride. So
where do you see the main benefit for roadies using tubeless setup?
I think it's one, the rolling resistance, but also comfort is very important. And the possibility that the tire can seal. Because we do see sealed tires getting to the finish with a lot of air still in. So I think the fact that there is a sealant in there and can seal, it's for sure a benefit in racing as well.
Okay. Talking about wheels and tires, tubeless, that's the place to go. But then let's talk a little bit about the tire pressure. Like, is there a difference between each rider, or do you approach it differently according to the stage and to the weather, or like, is there any specific strategy there, or do you like say, hey, 1 bar each tire, each rider every day?
No, every rider has his own pressure setting, which is based on his weight. So the mechanics have a table which they use for that. Depending on the wheel set, we have like also a wheel set which has a smaller internal width, so then we can change the tire pressure a little bit. And when it is rainy, maybe we can tweak the pressure a little bit to have more grip. But other than that, it's more or less let's say the same use every day.
Could you say, like, do you know what's a common tire pressure? Like, do you have something in mind? Like, do you know how many kilos Matteo Jorgensen weighs? Like, it's
not out of my head, but I think between around 4.5 or something is quite maybe the average of
4.5 bar.
Yeah, more or less.
For how many kilos ish?
I would say around 70, 70, 75, okay. Maybe a little bit more,
Okay, so I would need slightly more than maybe 5. I'm slightly over.
But I think in general it's between 3.5 and 5.5, depending on the weight of the rider. And also some riders have a preference for a little bit lower than, let's say, the science would advise.
Let's stick just a little bit longer with the wheels. I mean, these are like high-profile wheels, but you are, according to weather forecast and the wind, you're deciding, okay, you're going to use deeper rims, or how do you make decisions on that?
Typically, we make the decision based on the parcours, so on the altitude meters, and also if it's bendy or twisty or whatever. If there is a chance of high wind, then we will see if the choice we made is still valid and if we need to change something. But typically it's made looking to the parcours or to the role of the rider. For example, if somebody has to ride on the front of the peloton for the whole day, then it's nice to be as aero as possible. And yeah, that's actually the main deciding factor. And then if it's really windy, then we could change, but actually we find these high wheels pretty stable as well, so then
So it's not that common to change actually any component during a race or during a stage. So you won't, like, just when it's like really needed, really windy and you didn't expect
I think
it,
if we have extremes, then you can change it like a wheel or gear ratio, but that are really extremes, I think. In general, you can, let's say, schedule pretty good for what is expected.
Would you change a complete bike, saying, hey, we got a flat out start, and then we go like, it's going to be like way more hilly, and then we're going to a lighter bike, like when we're approaching the accident?
Could be, but it's still, changing bikes is, I find, always tricky, because you never know how the race goes, and you can be stuck to your bike because you can't change because the car is not there, or like say the race is already on fire and So typically we try to avoid a situation like that because you just cannot plan for it. You can plan for it, but you never know how the plan goes.
Okay. I mean, this whole setup is kind of, let's say, fixed, so to speak, But are there any like small tweaks and turns a mechanic could take, saying, hey, I'm gonna just squeeze out the last advantage and the last seconds out of such a bike? Let's say, I don't know, adjusting the torque of the spokes, for example, or using some kind of, I don't know, special treatment to the brake pads. Is there
I think mainly
like that?
Things which you can tweak is, for example, like measure every component in terms of weight.
And then decide which one is the lightest?
The lightest one.
Okay.
Which, because carbon production has for sure always a tolerance. How good the brand is, there is a tolerance. So if you weigh, for example, 5 frames, there will be one which can be 20 grams lighter, or about 20 is maybe a lot. And I think those are really the things the mechanic can add to. That's something we do at our service course to really get to the details into that. And then other than that, it's just select the best components. Also check the bearings of the hubs if it's still good. And if not, use a different wheel set. And I think those are really like the details. Just check the shifting and those type of details are looked at.
Just this little one. Okay. How often do you actually need to change brake pads? I was wondering, especially when it's really descending really fast. Do you also need to change it that often? Or?
If it's dry, it's not too bad. I think if you have one wet day, then it can go really fast. And then we also take no doubts with it. If we see, okay, this is already quite far off, then we switch it. So it can be a week, but it can also be a few days.
You're also not replacing it every stage?
No. No. If it works well, then don't need to.
Never change the running system, huh?
It's
just a little bit of lube.
Get
all the dust, clean it, store it, and then you're good to go. All right.
No loop, but it's.
Wax it. Wax it now.
Keep the loop away, then it's perfect.
Wow, amazing. Well, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Talking us through the bike. It's a great setup. Hope it goes well. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Enko. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wenn es euch gefallen hat, lasst gerne ein Like da. Schreibt mal in die Kommentare, welche Component euch am besten gefallen hat beim neuen Cervelo S5. Und wir sehen uns beim nächsten Video. Macht's gut, bis bald.